Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here, once again to do another One Piece chapter review. Chapter 1121, which is titled, I believe, hold on, let me just get the name of the page up, The Upheaval of the Era, which is a follow-up to the last chapter where Atlas sacrificed herself to save Lilith from and the Straw Hats from Nezjuro, and also York believing that she's the last of the Vegapunk. Luffy interacting with Emmett the Iron Giant as he's about to prepare, seems some mega move against the Five Elders. And Vegapunk reveals that Vegapunk now says that he's revealed everything in the past, and now it's about to predict what's going to happen in the future, but also revealing to the rest of the world that Roger is true name is Gold D Roger instead of Gold Roger. So that's what happened last time. Now, granted, some might be aware that I reviewed this chapter maybe about a day or two ago, but I was very tired and getting a bit sleepy towards the end of it. So I kind of felt like I was being a bit like sleepy, sleepy Joe Biden. So kind of forgetting what I was trying to say of my point. So I'm giving this review a second go to see if I can. So I was taking a sip of water there, so I can see if I can make a more clear and cohesive review. Hopefully, I will be a much more better than last time. Before we begin that, I've got to just talk about like the chapter summaries. I got to talk about the cover thing. First is the weekly Shonen Jump thing, where we've got Luffy with like one of those feather coat things, like similar to Doflamingo's but gold. And from what I understand, this might be Luffy's outfit from the One Piece Gold film. But behind him is Nami. The weak trio with Nami, Usopp, and Chopper all smiling or grinning, seemingly in luxury outfits. So Usopp's got wearing a fancy top hat, Nami a fancy dress, and Chopper in a similar golden suit with a bow tie. So yeah, it's a little nice, and it's nice that the weak trio's behind Luffy. Hopefully they'll get a little bit more to do in the upcoming Elbaf arc that will hopefully happen at some point this year. But anyway, on to the actual main cover, which is a double-page spread of a sexy Nami eating ice cream with all the Straw Hats, small and surrounding her, where she's pretty much in a bikini top and very very skimpy shorts. I guess you could say it's kind of like similar to like what she wore in Dressrosa, though granted the tops are more bikini tops are more blue with yellow and white flowers. She's pretty much sticking her tongue out from like probably tasting the ice cream, but you got also Luffy also tasting the ice cream. Chopper's in one of her hand. Robin is also on the arm of that hand looking up at Nami. Usopp is jumping, trying to eat a piece of the ice cream. Sanji's got his tongue out and heart eyes with his lustful thing towards Nami. And Jinbei is smiling next to him. Frankie's riding a rubber duck. And Brock is playing guitar between Nami's legs. And Zoro is cutting a watermelon on the top of one of those legs. So, yeah, it's a nice little cover. Arguably a bit fan servicing, but it's probably better to have the fan service on a cover spread rather than the actual chapters, I guess. So yeah, but a lot of Nami fanboys will probably be happy about this. But yeah, no, granted, I believe this is the second time you've seen a giant Nami with straw hats surrounding him when she's licking ice cream. So it seems Oda's making a habit out of this. Anyway, with that over and done with, on to the chapter itself. Chapter, like I said, 1121, the upheaval of an era. Luffy is telling the Giants to watch out for the claws as their pirates to not touch them, as Marines are trying to fire the cannons. The Giants are telling Luffy that they're trying not to touch them, but Saint Saturn's attacks are just too fierce. Luffy says he just keeps coming down to the very end as he's smiling, preparing to do one of those cartoon round punches, but then notices Bonnie transforming into Nika form, or form similar to his. And Saturn tries to attack her, but Luffy deflects with his own punch, if you will. And then Barney, fully transformed, jumped up in the air. Saturn angrily shouts Barney's name. And Luffy's just encouraged her. That's it, Barney, you can do it. As Vegapunk then, as we cut to what appears to be Logtown, where we see a mix of citizens and pirates reacting to Vegapunk's thing. The pirates are seemingly a bit more excited. As Vegapunk says, on one day, the memories of the Void Century will be recalled. And mark my words, that day is coming. And then we cut to like Vivi and Shirahoshi as Vegapunk says, the sinking of the world's continent was a man-made disaster brought about by the weapons. And then we cut to Sky Pier, where we see Wiper and his top, I believe his top guardsmen with, I believe, with Connus and Asia bringing them like lunches and snacks, and we have also a giant snake. I believe her name is Nola, if I'm getting it right. It could be Nola. Nola, the giant snake. So they're just just waving at them and saying hi to each other as Connus is bringing them lunch. So showing that they're completely unaware, but this is but Vegapunk's words are continuing about say how weapons which by someone's design still exist today. As Vegapunk says, the mechanics of history and fate seem to insist upon the obliteration of the last descendants of rare races, where we see Kuma's listening in, and it seems to see if he has any conscience left still in. He seems to remember the time when Vegapunk asked him if he was a buccaneer, and he's going like, what makes my blood so different from other people anyway? And you get Marco just listening in from Whitebeard's home island, where he remembers what Whitebeard said, that there used to be a top of the red line race that used to be called gods, which resulted in you have now cut to King remembering how someone said, a Lunarian heir, I hear the government pays 100 million for tips on your kind. And then you cut to Charlotte, let's see King still seemingly in bandages, probably from like the fight against Zoro, and then of course Admiral Ryuku, though granted I can't tell if he's in the prison cell. And then Charlotte Pudding, where it's where she's still in a prison cell for Blackbeard's pirates, where she recalls how people used to say, look, she's got 3 eyes, and remembering the prejudice she endured. Now, for my thoughts here, I do like how Luffy is like warning the giants about to be careful of the poison, because, well, let's see, he knows how dangerous they are. I do like how they are doing quite well to try and block it, but let's see, the attack of... hold on a second, I just got a message. Sorry about that. I was just doing a message on thing where I was like, oh yeah, I do like how the giants are sort of like are able to okay, I'll ask that later. But anyway, I'm sorry, there was just someone asking some questions. But anyway, let's see. So, where was I? Oh yeah. I do like how the giants are blocking Saturn's poison, but they're being pushed back by Saturn, showing that Saturn is still quite a very capable fighter, and he has the strength to push back a few multiple giants at once. So, yeah, it shows just how deadly this guy is. But I do like how Luffy's trying to do that cartoony round punch, but ends up, blocking, using it to block, Saturn attacking Barney, and just Luffy just encouraging her to that she can fight and that she can do this transformation. So I do like that little bit aspect, but I do like how you're seeing that Saturn has just become completely furious at Bonnie. Anyway, I do like how we got like Roger's hometown reacting, where Roger first gave that grand let's see, declaration that started the pirate era. Then you had Whitebeard's speech about what seemingly ended the pirate era, but also started a new sort of era of pirates as well when he declared that we needed that speech, his dying speech, and declaring the One Piece is real. And with like Vegapunk doing this speech now, if you will, revealing the secrets of the world, just showing the world just the stakes of what's about to happen and what secrets are going to be revealed and what's going to happen in the future. So I do like that. I also like how you got Shirahoshi and Vivi, let's see, being used for the bits where about talking about the ancient weapons, because, well, Shirahoshi is an ancient weapon herself. She is Poseidon. Let's see, so so she is Poseidon, so she knows just kind of how devastating the damage of her powers can be if used in the wrong hands. I'm wondering how Vegapunk's message is going to affect her, as how she intends to use that. Let's see, and she tends to use that. How she tends to try and be careful when using her powers, given the fact that let's see, there's going to be some like use of it in the future. And Vivi, because well, her father, she knows that Alabasta, the location in Alabasta, there's the let's see, there's information to how to find Pluton, so she's probably also taking serious about this because well, her father, she nearly lost her people over that, like the weapon Pluton, and I bet she's wondering if that weapon is going to be unleashed or something. But yeah, I am curious to see what she's going to do after this. Maybe try and find the Straw Hats at long last. But yeah. Anyway, I was a bit surprised that you got the residents of Skypiea as they are still let's see, so but it's nice to it's because it's like they have let's see no pretty denden mushies to listening to Vegapunk's message, but it's still nice to see them doing well and fine. So looks of things, they look peaceful and they're just enjoying life. They're apparently completely avoid of the conflict that's about to take place on the Grand Line, though I do wonder if this means that we're going to see them at some point during the final saga, or if this is just a cameo that Oda wanted to do. Some have theorized that perhaps maybe that Skypiea once had the ancient weapon. Now, given the fact they had the Poneglyph to find the ancient weapon Poseidon, I doubt that's the case. I think Oda just wanted to show the people of Skypiea, so just show Wiper, Conus, and the giant snake, just showing that they are currently living a peaceful life and arguably just unaware of the ignorance of the world below, if you will. I also do like how Vegapunk has brought up like how certain witty special species, certain races and special species have been driven to the point of extinction by due to something that happened in the past for like reasons they can't seem to quite understand. Yeah, so it's like perhaps this will get, let's see, as people listening to this, perhaps they'll get the idea of that. Okay, perhaps let's see, Vegapunk's talking about how let's see these races are being uncruelly treated. So perhaps if there's any survivors, these people, or like with other races that humans have been prejudiced, perhaps maybe this will get humans to you know what? Perhaps maybe we shouldn't prejudice against other species like the fishmen or giants, and try to try and get along and maybe even understand them, I guess, if you will. So who knows? Perhaps that's what eventually Vegapunk's message will do. But I do like how you just got like Kuma, Ritzy King, and Pudding, the only characters that are, as far as we know, the only members of their species that's currently alive in the current timeline for One Piece. We do know Kuma's father was a buccaneer, but he's dead. But pretty much, these are the only people that have. These are the only people we know that are their own species, if they're not being the only member of their species, if you don't count the cloning of the Seraphim and the Pathista, I guess. But yeah, they're pretty much the only ones. And I do like how they just think back to some of the times when they were being prejudiced from like due to their race, like having a third eye or like being a Lunarian. Yeah, but I do like how you also got Marco listening in, showing that well, he's still in his island, so he seems to have not helped Stussy with like trying to find Revo yet, or was just about to, but then the message played, and then it's just listening in. But I assume that this is just hints that Marco will be making his move, and who knows, it might be related to the Lunarians, but we'll have to wait and see in that regard. So there's that. Anyway, the Giants get excited over Nika. Bonnie starts saying that she has one score to Saturn. It's with Saturn. Let's see. Saturn's just like, you're just a mimicry, a parent imitation. But Luffy's just encouraged her to get him, kicking Saturn's spider legs out of his way, much to Saturn's fury. Barney starts getting teary-eyed, remembering like how her father was treated cruelly, particularly the flashback where Saturn says that their only option is slavery and death, as history has chose them for him. Whether Barney or teary-eyed saying, you pay for what you did to my daddy and what you did to my mommy, as you got like Kizaru still lying on the floor, but seemingly perhaps listening into what Barney is saying. And you also got Santamaru perhaps also listening. And remembering how Vegapunk, how Saturn also said he performed chemical experimentations on her mother, with Bonnie saying, you people aren't gods, but gods do exist. And then we seemingly get a memory where Bonnie remembers her mother saying, hi, Bonnie, it's me, your mommy, but not actually her face. And then remembering the Nika dance that Kuma used to show her and saying, and so do heroes, as it cuts to Kuma, as arguably Kuma is a hero. And Barney starts crying, saying, I wish I could have lived together as a family. There were times I wanted to die and had to be alone, but I won't go, but I won't. I'm going to live because they wanted me, as we kept like a flashback thing, but not one that actually happened, but both Kuma and Ginny holding Bonnie in their hands, saying, thank you, Bonnie, for being born, as she prepares a move called Liberation, while Saturn is just shouting, insects, vermin, just, like the curse words of a bad guy just about to be defeated. As you see, Barney in a giant Gear 5 form, but Luffy also in a giant Gear 5 form, but much bigger. But Barney is just doing what appears to be like a Gear 3 attack. Luffy's got some both his arms and hands and arm hockey, as Vegapunk ends up saying that in his message where we are with at now Water 7 with Iceberg, his new assistant. Hold on, let me just see if I can find the Iceberg. Oh yeah, Alice, Play, and Tillstone listening in. As he says, if the worst should come to pass, I want you all to take care of yourselves. And this is probably fitting since, the Water 7's been preparing for floods. And then we cut to Vegapunk, Caesar Clown, and Judge arguing each other, seemingly now arguing about, now that Vegapunk's dead, who's now the top scientist or something. But he says, no matter what should happen, and then you see, the weather scientist from, I believe it's, hold on. Whether we are with Herodotus, Nami's mentor, where he says, I believe in the intelligence of mankind. And let's see, cut back to Egghead, where you see a giant cola with Vega on it, saying, building, saying, I believe in science. As you get a bit of his message breaking, saying, but it's saying Roger died 25 years ago, and then Whitebeard died 2 years ago while this is going on. You see Emmett preparing to do something while Topman, Wookery, and Jupiter are surrounding him. He says, but the fall of those legends was merely a prologue to a new era. As Bonnie finishes her attack, saying Liberation, Nika punch, doing a giant Gear 3-like attack to Saturn's face, while Luffy does, and without saying anything, just constantly does some Gatling attacks on Saturn. Punching holes through him and all that stuff. As he falls into the ocean, as Vegapunk says, and now those people who refuse to buckle under all suppression. It gets continued saying about how are the only ones only closest to the truth, ironically enough. But I'm going to get to that in a bit as the giants celebrate and Barney starts crying after finally defeating the foe that ruined her parents' life. And Luffy's just laughing about how he blew into pieces. So, as Luffy says, good job, Barney, as you got Kuma smiling, seemingly somewhat consciously aware that but see, Barney has just defeated arguably their worst enemy, if you will. So yeah, I'm just going to give my thoughts here. I do like how Saturn is just trying to surround Barney. Let's see, in the beginning of the thing, Saturn's just trying to surround. I do like how the giants get excited that Nika's still about. Still, or just go like, it's Nika whenever they see the sun god form. I do like, but I like how Saturn's trying to surround all the spider eggs with poison claws to try and kill Barney, but Luffy is just being like the sort of big brother / mentor figure, like protecting her, so Barney can do her attack and encouraging her to beat the living daylights out of Saint Saturn, if you will. But I do like how Barney is remembering like what the horrible things that Saturn has done to both her parents, declaring him that he'll pay for what he's done, and also how him and the other 5 elders and the Celestial Dragons aren't really gods, but real gods do exist because she knows that because she saw Luffy and in his Nika form, and that also heroes as well. And I do like how when she says that it's on account of Kuma because Kuma is arguably her hero. And arguably is a hero for all the sacrifice that he's done to make people better. Let's see, so, let's see, so, and I do like how Barney is just talking about how she wished she could live with her family together, and the times that she felt like she wanted to die, but kept on living because that's what her parents wanted to do. And she saw that through the memories, and also coming to save her. But also, I think she got her faith restored when she learned that Luffy was actually Nika. I do like that she tries to imagine what life would have been like if her parents were with her, as they both thank her to be born. I just see Saturn is doing the typical villain, curse you insects that you or like curse you straw hats or curse you, you insects or vermin kind of thing. Cursing at the Straw Hats, if you will, because that's what most bad guys do when they're about to be defeated. So yeah, let's see. But yeah, I do like how you got that double panel spread of Luffy and Barney punching together. Let's see, Barney, of course, crying. Can't really smile, but I do like how serious that she looks, despite the fact that the sun god form's supposed to be jokey. And I will admit, Luffy looks quite intimidating with the way he's smiling and getting his fists. So it's like, this is the serious, funny god now, and you don't want to mess with him. Let's see, as they work together to do like the Gatling part. Let's see, the punching. Luffy doing a Gatling and Barney doing a punch straight forward. Now, granted, I'm pretty certain Luffy's done more damage, but I do like that Barney is also involved in the final attack, and the fact that both, Luffy and Barney defeated this foe together. I think this is the first time this has happened since Luffy and Zoro took down Axe Hand Morgan, but I think in the terms of the contents of this arc, I think it's fitting that Barney takes a hand in help Luffy defeating Saturn, just because of all the horrible things that Saturn did to her family. Because normally it's just Luffy that just beats up the bad guys no matter what. But I think it's nice that once you have, possibly a potential Straw Hat also helping Luffy beat the bad guy. And arguably being set up to be like Luffy's apprentice at this point. So yeah. And I do believe that Saturn is probably going to be permanently defeated at this point because he's been punched to pieces. He's falling into the ocean. If he's a Devil Fruit user, he's going to lose his powers, but if he's not, then we know that he's not a Devil Fruit user. And those theories about, Saturn being a demon creation of Emu might become more believable over time of year we will, but I do like how you got the Giants celebrating the, let's see, Luffy and Barney's victory. Luffy's just laughing about him being blown to pieces, but Barney's just finally crying that Saturn's gone. But really a bit is I like is the fact that Kuma is smiling because it's like finally Saturn is finally being beaten. Finally, Luffy, he's been brought to justice, if you will. Which I do think the Saturn in the water, this might lead to the events that some are predicting that Saturn ends up dying from this arc because, well, he's the antagonist of this arc. And probably better just to get him gone now and have him deal again the arc. But anyway, I do like how, let's see who you're using, Oda used for like when Vegapunk continued his message. Like you got the Galar company who is pretty much, like I said earlier, been preparing for floods. And now that Vegapunk has talked about how the whole world's sinking, this is probably going to make them more determined to try and prevent, Water 7 from flooding and maybe trying to build that, Water City, that floating city. Perhaps maybe even try to see if they can help make designs for multiple islands and multiple people. I don't know, like that. Let's see. I do find it interesting you got Caesar and Judge now arguing. This is like because now Vegapunk is dead. So it's like the main reason that they teamed up to make Neomads is gone. So they seem to be back to their bickering self, or at least arguing what to do now after this. But I have a feeling that Neomads is still going to be a thing, as I think these two will just decide, let's surpass Vegapunk, or maybe even find this ancient technology. Because I do think Neomads is going to have a role in the future. I don't think Oda would have created this organization or keep these characters around as long as he did, because if they're just going to just create a organization off screen on the cover stories and then have it just disband just when the Vegapunk's message happens. I do like how Vegapunk has his wisdom and intelligence of mankind and science. Sorry, everyone. Let's see. For some reason, my connection went off. I'm just going to actually just mute myself and see how much of my stream was actually recorded. Okay, I'm back. It seems like most of what my stream said was still continuing from what I said, but I'll just repeat what I said, at least with like the Galar company. They seem to be at the very least let's see, the Galar company seems to still see they're like the perfect people to like let's see, paying attention to this and like, okay, we know that the whole world's flooding. We got to prepare for like the flooding of our own island, and perhaps maybe try and help out the rest of the world, or prepare how they can try and survive and all that stuff. You got Judge and Caesar fighting. Now, granted, I assume that Oda is making. Let's see, now that Vegapunk's gone, the reason for their team up is gone. But I assume that Oda will have them fight together again, or at least team up again, not break up and disband like the old Mads, because I think they'll probably realize, let's still work together to surpass, maybe even learn more about this ancient kingdom. But I do think that Oda, after using these characters for so long, and also all that be up to Neomads in the cover story. I do think he's going to use them in the future. Now, what grouping they're going to be in, who knows? For I know, they could end up teaming up with like Cross Guild or something, or Blackbeard, something like that. Maybe the Marines. I don't know. I just have to wait and see what they are actually doing. But yeah. But I do like also how you've got Nami's mentor, he mentioned the intelligence of mankind, because he's one of those scientists that would, and his sky weather people do try to help people with their weather technology. So there's like the belief in science and intelligence of mankind, even though there are probably some reasons to be doubtful about sometimes the wisdom of mankind, because they can do some very foolish actions really. But yeah. But I think these people I do think the weather wizards will try and help out as best they can. Anyway, let's see. I mean, there's not much going on with Emmett, the Iron Giant. He's just continuing to be surrounded by the elders. I think that's just more of just a reminder that they're here. But I do like how the message is just like cutting off a little bit about Roger and Rightvid. But it's like Vegapunk's talking about the and let's see, there was just more of the prolong of a new era, like they're just like about their fall. So it's like the new era now. In a sense, you've got like Luffy and Barney, members of the worst generation, also beating one of the 5 elders, an old relic. So that also comes very fitting to what's going on there. So yeah, I do like that bit there. And now to the final few bits of the chapter, where you got Doggy and Broggy saying, "Isn't that your ship? It's the Sunny," and all that stuff. You see Usopp and Chopper screaming about how they're falling, dying, help, help, help. As Vegapunk continues about how his message, from which he said, let's see, and now those who refuse to buckle under any of all suppression, let's see, they are the ones who are closest to the trove, ironically enough. As you just got also Zoro preparing a sword, perhaps maybe waiting for Nezjo to come back or something, or whatever fight's about to take place. But Vegapunk then saying, and perhaps it was Roger who sent them there. As we cut back to like a flashback of Roger, of like when he said his treasure, his final words there. And then you got like, I believe Shaki putting a cloak over Rayleigh to keep him warm, saying, "You're going to catch a cold, Ray," but he's just like sleeping due to like being passed out drunk. And now you got a bunch of pirates going like, "Whoa, Vegapunk! I like the sound of what you're saying." And this is where you get some of then cutting to like let's see, Hachino's Wolf-led Island, depending on the translation, where pirates are asking, "Where isn't the Commodore's crew back yet, or what?" As I said, they can't wait. As you see, like the island is still cracked from like Garp's punch with the skull, but pretty much the pirates are like all excited about what Vegapunk is saying. I'm not sure if they're the same pirates that are from like they're getting all excited. One of them is a female. One of them has like a typical pirate captain hat and get up, if you will. As Vegapunk says, the person who winds up with it may not be who Joy Boy desired. As you get then cut to the red-haired pirate's ship, the Red Force, where one of the crew members says, "Captain, you might have had too much," but he's going like, "No, I'm not drunk." As you got that there. As we've seen Shanks as being drunk, listening in on Vegapunk's message. As then you cut to like Buggy's like hideout with the Empty Bluffs Island, where his crewmates are going like, "We weren't wrong after all, Captain Buggy. You always find a way to outdo our wildest imaginations." But Buggy's going like, what? And going like, "We had no idea that the story was this vast," but he's just going like confused. As you get like Betsy, Crocodile, and Hawkeye seemingly looking annoyed because of what they all seem to think about Buggy's dream now, and also what Vegapunk was revealed, saying, "There's no ceiling to your ambitions." Then we cut to like the Marine HQ, where Marines are saying, "It cannot happen. We must find it first." But then you got one Marine says, "Then who's going to save the people? You think idiots, or you dolts," depending on the translation. As Vegapunk says, there's no stopping the tide. The fate of the world now rests in the hands of the one who finds it. We get a double panel spread of the 4 emperors, Akainu, Dragon, this mysterious figure that kind of reminds people of Shanks, Imu, Kobe, Aokiji, Saint Figan Garlin, and Sabo, as Vegapunk's message says, the person who lays claim to the One Piece. As you pretty much got the emperors all laughing and smiling, Buggy's all teary-eyed because I think he's like, oh, I'm in trouble now. But yeah, but pretty much the chapter ends with these 12 figures being like, hinting that these are the 12 figures that are the most closest to finding the One Piece, ending the chapter. Okay, now for my overall thoughts here. I like how Vegapunk brings up in the message that those who refuse to Baku, like, the most powerful people on the planet, like the revolutionaries and pirates. Oops, sorry, I kind of went back. I need to scroll back to the page. Like the closest to finding the truth, ironically enough, but thinks that maybe, Roger intended this. And frankly, I think most people think that Roger did intend the Great Pirate Age. And now I think, with Vegapunk's messaging and words there, I think you'd be like, I think Vegapunk is not, with Vegapunk's words, I bet many people are starting to think, wait, did Roger actually plan this, all along for someone to find the One Piece and all that? And thinking like, okay, is this what Roger was thinking about? Revealing the secrets of the Void Century? I do wonder if you get more questions on stuff like that. But, yeah. Anyway, I do like how, the Straw Hat ship is finally coming down, but you got Usopp and Chopper screaming like the cats they are. But I do like how Jinbei is just seriously just holding onto the steering wheel. Zoro prepares to look like he's ready to fight someone, either maybe Nezjuro, or perhaps maybe whoever's they're going to face down on the sea when they land on the sea, pretty much. But, yeah. But I do like how, with this last bit, you got just fit, really just finally asleep, drunk, seemingly having listened to what Vegapunk has said, just like, okay, I'm going to sleep now. But I do like how Sharky is just like putting a blanket over to take care of him now, as he just listens in as you get now all these bunch of pirates excited, the ones in like Blackbeard's territory, like, come back, Blackbeard's crew, we gotta go and find the One Piece. Seemingly waiting for him to come out so that they can start finding it. Shanks seemingly just drunk. We learn that Shanks seemingly is being drunk when this message is going down, so I don't know if he's been paying attention, but it could be that when the message was playing, Shanks already knew what Vegapunk was talking about to some extent and decided that, now best to just leave it up. But anyway, at the very least, he'll probably be informed by a member of his crew, particularly the one says, are you drunk, Captain? But yeah. But anyway, I do love how with this message, you got all of like Buggy's followers thinking that, oh my God, Buggy's legend to greatness is more bigger than we expected. We should never doubt you, oh great Buggy. But Buggy's just completely confused and being perhaps maybe even a little bit worried by the fact that his supporters are thinking this way, because now he thinks like, oh my God, I'm going to be in danger with this whole now quest for the One Piece now at this point, right? I do like how Crocodile and Hawkeye seem just completely annoyed by this whole situation. It's like, oh God. Now let's see, Vegapunk's message inspired them even more about, us going to find the One Piece. Arguably, I doubt they really want to do that, but at the very least, I wouldn't be surprised if Crocodile becomes a bit more enthusiastic now that he learns about the fact that the ancient weapons still exist. But yeah, I do really find it interesting that you got some Marines now thinking maybe we should find the One Piece to prevent it from falling in the hands of pirates. Though whether or not they do actually do that at some point remains to be seen, because some of them are saying like, our priority is to protect the citizens, you fools, or you dolts, depending on one. But I wonder if this will lead more and more to the Marines eventually breaking ties with the world government, as some are theorizing, especially when they learn the truth about Emu, probably about truth about Emu. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that takes place. But I do like how Vegapunk says there's no stopping this whole he finding the truth about the One Piece, or like the quest for the One Piece at this point, and just tells the world that it's the fate of the world depends on who finds the One Piece. And it might not even be the person that Joe Boy or Roger decide. Which the worst case scenario, it's Blackbeard. Second case worst scenario, the world government, or the Marines, end up finding it and destroy it before it could be used for its purpose, I guess. Third option, I think, would probably be whatever Buggy does and not really seem to care about what it's going to be and all that stuff. But yeah, well, the best case amongst the Britzy Yonko would be, of course, Shanks and Luffy, because Shanks is Roger's successor, and Luffy will probably end up Britzy, whether or not Britzy cares or not, will probably end up filling the will that was passed by to Joe Boy and all that stuff, because, will of D. For one reason or another, most likely to probably just avenge Cobra when he finds out that Vivi's dad was killed by the world government, maybe. But yeah. So yeah, we've seemingly got now key figures to finding the One Piece, which is, of course, the four emperors. That was obvious. But also Akainu, that seems to be no surprise there. Dragon, now granted, Dragon has shown no interest in the One Piece, but I wouldn't be surprised if him and Sabo decide to team up with Luffy to try and find the One Piece and what to do with it. Interestingly, you've got Aokiji there, which I think is leading to some realize that Aokiji still has his own plans and all that stuff. So he might actually just be using Blackbeard to find the One Piece and see what he can do with it, and perhaps maybe reveal certain truths to the world for that means. But who knows? We still don't know what Aokiji's goals are. And Kobe, interestingly, is there. It's the new Marines. Perhaps, maybe if he reunites with Luffy again, perhaps maybe he'll be the ones to reveal all the truths of the world that whatever the Straw Hats find, and then be the one to encourage the world. To trust Luffy and all that stuff, because he did that with Drake, and Drake ended up trusting Luffy when the time came in Wano. Also, I do think we'll probably need someone like Kobe would probably be, who's a hero and quite popular with citizens around the world. Him talking perhaps about the truth of the world, or even perhaps telling people to trust Luffy, might end up a good thing into helping Luffy in the long term. So there's that. But the most interesting one is this silhouette figure of that we don't know, but it appears to remind people of Shanks because of his sword and shadowy figure, which leads to more to feel like this might be Shanks's evil twin brother, or at least someone that is closely related to him. Who knows? It might even be the silhouette that Dragon was talking about earlier, and he might even be the figure that that was seemingly the Shanks-like figure that was talking to the five elders in Elevely, because people thought, wait, was that Shanks? But oh wait, perhaps maybe it's not Shanks. Perhaps it's his evil twin, or older or younger brother that looks like him. But yeah, either way, the theories are becoming a bit more plausible now that this guy might be some other god knight that's related to Shanks. And you also got Fargallan there, so he might also try and do something. And Emu there, which who knows? Now, granted, I don't think Emu is going to be fought before the One Piece is found. I think he's going to be fought after. But granted, I do know some people think that the fight will happen, big war will happen, then people find the One Piece. But who knows? At the very tip for the least, I think Laugh Tale is going to be done first before fighting Emu. And let's see. It could be possible that the only way to truly find the One Piece is and Luffy learns that the only true way to find the One Piece is to actually defeat Emu. So that could end up being the case. Oops, I realize I still got my be right back. See a message there. Hopefully people that listen to this part here will realize that I've actually that was just an error on my part. But yeah, but that's pretty much what you got here with all the key players. You probably got Dragon and Sabo probably now trying to help Luffy find the One Piece. Kobe perhaps might also help Luffy, or try and see if he can tell the world what he found with the One Piece. Akira will probably try to stop people from finding the One Piece. Same with Emu, Garland, and this other props shadowy figure that might be the Shanks' relative, or possibly the man marked by flames that who has the final road poneglyph. So yeah. But either way, you've got Shanks smiling and Luffy, Blackbeard, and Buggy laughing while Buggy's crying tears. But yeah. But anyway, this is pretty much. I do like how this is probably the last big message of, let's see, ending of an era, because we got Roger died, he did a speech. Whitebeard died, he did a speech. Now Vegapunk has died, giving this major speech about, let's see, just telling the world just what dangers, just what is exactly going to happen and what he predicts is going to happen, and letting the world know that the finding the One Piece is much more bigger and grander than they ever thought of just some treasure that apparently caused the Great Pirate Era. So it's a lot more important than they all realize. I'm curious to see how they all react. Some of them are probably worried because of like possibly the Yonko doing it. But I think once they learn more and more about the truth, they might already hope that possibly someone like Luffy holds it, or maybe Kobe. But either way, this is like arguably the final big speech about the death of a character from an old death of a character that's about to start a new era, if you will. But anyway, but Vegapunk's speech is pretty much starting the beginning of the final war for the One Piece. So yeah, overall, I'll give this chapter like a 9 out of 10. Luffy and Barney teaming up to seemingly finally defeat Saturn. And also the rest of Vegapunk's spitty speech and what he predicts about. That's about how perhaps Roger planned all this, but regardless of what happens, whoever finds the One Piece will determine the fate of this world. So, and also the key players of what we see. Granted, there still might be some more key players. Now, I'm not saying that Kid and Law are going to be key players, but I do think that they will come back to perhaps help some of the characters. But I think they're out of the race for the One Piece. But I do think they both have a role, but something like that. But yeah, but we got at least probably some of the key figures in this final saga. And frankly, with the way Egghead's going, it looks to be more and more hype. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of my review. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say. Sorry for the few bits of setbacks of being disconnected or I am stopping to read some messages. Hopefully it won't happen again. But yeah, that's the end of my review. Let's see. I hope you all enjoyed what I had to say. Thank you for your time. Look forward to seeing you guys again when I review the next chapter of One Piece, which will be coming out, let's see, this weekend. The spoilers have already come out. I have not looked at them yet. And I think the early release translations chapters will come tomorrow. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. Goodbye, everyone.